coração, no vendo o pensamento, vendo a alma, vendo o espírito, vendo o fundo do coração. E pra mim tudo mais isso tá tudo na minha alma. A capoeira me livrou, yeah. Sou mandingueiro, carrego meu patuá, tô com navalha na mão e birimbau no coração. Lá em Santo Amaro, que morreu seu bisu, grande lutador de capoeira, uma grande inspiração. O meu pai antes de morrer abriu a boca e falou: meu filho, não apanhe, que seu pai nunca apanhou. Na rodada capoeira foi um grande lutador, yeah. Viva meu Deus. Hey everybody, good morning. Mestre Sucuri, Tokyo, Japan. Let me just put down my beating bow, organized. I'm using two cameras here, so I might look up and down. Good morning, Teruyuki, Grande Irmão Kalunga, Havoc03. Good morning, BJ, Jinga Gift, Marcio, Thrira, yeah, wow. I'm not so good at all this stuff, but I'm also here on Facebook right now, and I'm doing two at the same time. Good morning, everybody. Today's generally will be in English, so I hope that people are watching this back home and get a chance to see. So, today, oh, that's Angel. Ano Tridente in Okinawa. All right. You might hear some beeps because people are doing things here. I hope that the sound is okay. I'm doing my best. I'm not really someone who's like very technologically in sync, right? I'm going to be 52 this year, so I'm hoping that things will work out fine. I've got my cell phone up here, and I've got my desktop computer here, and I'm hoping this is going to move forward. Okay, first of all, good morning, and thank you so much for joining my live. This is actually my first Q&A I think I've ever done. Generally, like most people, I do a monologue, or I'm invited to do speaking and interviews, like for example with Mestre Boa Fashion, Professor Choquito in Portuguese. So I'm hoping that this will work out, as best as possible. Now, what do I mean by Q&A? I mean people sending emails. Basically, if you guys have some questions about what I do here, hey Bobby, my little brother over there, if you have some questions about capoeira, and more importantly, I feel that this live today is about where I'm going forward or what's next. And the reason I do this is because it's very, very important for the people in my community to understand what I'm doing. Why? Okay, I'm going to talk about two important points, right? One, I'm born and raised in the United States of America, and there's a very high level of community awareness when it comes to, not just in America, but different countries, but there's a very high level of community awareness. And what I mean by community awareness is a lot of grassroots projects. For example, you can start a really small project and it could turn into a giant NPO, or it could turn into a lot of things. You can ask for grants, you can ask for community support. In the United States, if you're a registered NPO, you can register and you can get funds from the government, or the donations or the money people give you can be written off as a tax write-off. And we all know this as Americans. And I think it works similarly in the United Kingdom and some other countries. I'm not an expert on those, so I wouldn't know. I just know I keep up a lot with how it works in the United States. So now the first thing is that doesn't exist here in Japan, at least not from what I've seen. My wife and I actually had founded an NPO when we first came because I came with that American mentality that it works the same. But what I've discovered over the last 23 years in Japan is that charity and that community involvement and how we do things it works differently in Japan, not in the way we think. And it's not wrong. It's just a different cultural approach to how they do things. So what I had to have always done was to create my own community and to, as best as possible, especially to the Japanese community, explain how grassroots projects such as mine work. Okay, like I said, if I was in the States, I'd probably be, registered to NPO, tax deductible donations, running after grants, but my life I chose to be here in Japan, so no complaints, just moving forward. So because of that, I have to do these kind of what I call crowdfunding projects. Instead of asking for a grant from, like, say, United States or the National Endowment of the Arts or a cultural grants company or something, I have to do it myself. And that generally comes through crowdfunding. In 2014, I did a crowdfunding, and I did the Brazilian encounter here, where I brought people from all over the world, 10 Mestres. We had sponsorship from Contemporânea, and we had a really amazing event at the Yokohama Country Club. We got a lot of support from that, and that was also, and I did that on Indiegogo, right? It's a crowdfunding platform. Now, the second one I did was when we were just struggling, and it was just the beginning of the pandemic, and we got a Brazilian churrasco machine, right? A barbecue machine. Well, as you guys know, the restaurant didn't survive the pandemic, but the capoeira has been booming. And honestly, I learned a lot doing 3 years of a restaurant, leadership, organization in a different industry. And, it is what it is. So now what I'm doing is, this is probably going to be most likely one of my last Indiegogo campaigns, not just because I'm getting older or things are going better or anything. It's just because it's a lot of work to do. And I'm hoping this one will roll over into the next ones, right? So where I can build that kind of network where it'll be easier in the future and possibly get more support outside of asking friends, family, and the capoeira community, okay? So I want to share with you guys my Indiegogo campaign and what I'm doing. And I think it's important. I'm saying this, imagine that we're in a room and you guys are all the people part of my community. So that's what I'm trying to share with you guys. If this doesn't, interest you, if you're not interested in what's going on with capoeira, with me, or in Asia as an artist, as an educator, hey, thank you for joining today. And we're going to go forward. If you guys have a capoeira question, of course, I'd love to answer that too. I just want to get through this first part, and then maybe if nobody has any questions, I'll add I'll play some music for you guys. All right. So my Indiegogo campaign, and it's in the question or on the topic, and I'll keep posting all weekend long, is last year when I was traveling to Thailand, I met a couple of people, and they were really happy that we were there doing a capoeira workshop, and several of the people were refugees, right? And I want to say from Cambodia or something. The conversations were going fast, so I can't remember. And the passion in her eyes and their eyes for doing capoeira reminded me of the passion that I had when I first started capoeira. Not that it's not there, but it's a different kind, right? It's more mature, more refined passion of capoeira, which I will never, lose. And I was like, wow, this person, these 2-3 people really love capoeira. It's amazing. I mean, how capoeira transcends so many, cultural barriers. how beautiful it is, and how wow. I mean, it was awe inspiring. And I realized that this was happening in a lot of different places. For example, even in Korea or other places in Japan, when I travel for shows, people want access to more information on capoeira. The problem is a lot of them, because of financial challenges or whatever, or a lot of people just aren't allowed to travel outside their country, right? Or don't have the ability to take a month trip or a 3-year trip or a 5-year trip to go live in Brazil. So, but I feel those people, BMX Elog, good morning. So I feel those people also have, you know, a passion for capoeira, and I want to be able to bring what I can do as best as I can do to those people and to everyone. Oh, Jojo, good morning from California. So I want to be able to do a tour, and it's been difficult because the pandemic really hurt our industry. It hurt everybody, but if you were a capoeira teacher or someone doing something like capoeira, whatever, my friend who was doing jiu-jitsu in New York said, you know, it hurt because people weren't allowed to be together. So we're all coming back, and this is my way of coming back and doing best of what I can. So to re-inspire, to reconnect, to reinvigorate, to refresh capoeira in Asia, I want to be able to travel to 4 different countries, 5 different cities, and show, you know, what I feel right now a lot of people need in capoeira, especially in Asia, because it is so far removed from everything else. For example, when you go to Korea, I have yet to meet a Brazilian doing capoeira in Korea in all the times I've gone. Generally, it's mostly Koreans or foreigners, but no Brazilians. So I'm not saying that that's a good or bad thing. I'm saying that there's an access or a connection that's not being shown. I'm not saying that I can do a better job, but let's say on the mastery level, being able to share as a mastery the opportunity, the exchange, and the workshops and everything that would be more available to people. Oh my God, this is the best. My lovely wife just joined. Hi, baby. So what I want to do is I want to travel to, first of all, let me show you guys. I want to go to, in Japan, I want to travel. Of course, the first workshop to kick off will be here in Tokyo at my academia. This workshop will be in Japanese, and it will be open to the whole capoeira community in Tokyo and anywhere around who would like to come to take part in this workshop, okay? Because it's going to be language important on how to be able to communicate the information. And I'm hoping that I'm competent enough to be able to share that information with people in Japanese. It's a challenge, but I'll do my best. I'll prep, and I'll get into what I'm going to share soon. Okay, so the first one would be here in Tokyo in Japanese. The second one I'm planning is in Hamamatsu, where is one of the biggest concentrations of Brazilians in Japan, right? A lot of people don't know, but a lot of Japanese live here. I mean, a lot of Brazilians live in Japan, and I'd like to go down there, and I'd like to be able to do the same thing, right? But this time it would be in Portuguese. That I'm confident enough to do, so no problem. Then I'd like to go to Seoul, South Korea, where there's a growing passion and love of capoeira that people are growing, and I've made a good connection. I'm hoping to get about 30 to 40 people, maybe 50 people to join the workshops, and this will be in Seoul, South Korea. This, of course, will be in English with a translator. Then Bangkok, Thailand, where we also have a really great group of capoeira people. If you guys check Capoeira Thailand, the capoeira community in Thailand is fantastic, just like in Korea, and I believe there's a lot of people eager to learn. Finally, I'd like to go to Taipei, Taiwan, and the reason is because I still feel it's an opportunity in Taipei, Taiwan, and there's enough capoeiristas to bring this all together, and I can help in what I do. Not even if it's just capoeira, but anything involved in what I do, from samba, samba de roda, maculele, puxada de rede, percussion, anything I can do, I want to be able to help with. So I want to come down there and do that. Now, travel is going to be, all the travel has gone up, but I'd like to do this, and this is why I'm coming with Indiegogo. Now, the behind the scenes or the core of this project is something I really wanted to do for a long time, and I believe it would be a great way to motivate people in Asia and motivate people around the world to come back to capoeira or to continue capoeira. I'm celebrating 35 years of my first ginga. So since my first ginga, I love capoeira for 35 years. It's a lifetime for a lot of people. And what I'm hoping to do is, or what inspired me to do this, Mestre Acordeon had a video that he had produced years ago. And the video was, kind of a mini documentary asking his students why they love capoeira, what about capoeira is amazing. And I'd like to be able to do that in a mini documentary, like videos. I'm not sure if it's going to be one big video and I'll put that on YouTube and on social media, or it'll be like clips from when I'm traveling. And I think it's great because if people see why we love capoeira, then maybe people will be more inspired to do this. Secondly, I want to be able to record with my little bit of recording equipment as I travel. I want to be able to organize, compose with people, and be able to show the capoeira music from each place. It could be capoeira, maculele, samba, maybe a live samba event in Taipei. I don't know. But I would like to show people that Brazilian culture is booming in Asia. People love it here. I fell in love with Brazilian culture, 35 years ago, and I haven't looked back. And I want to be able to share that with other people. If you know me, you know how passionate I am about these kind of things. And so audio possibly leading to a mini CD, which won't be physically made a CD, but I'll record it, master it, and put it together and see what else I can do with it. And this would be with the different groups all over Asia that I visit. And it's good because it gives people a chance to reflect not only on the quality, but also on the energy, passion, and flow that they create with their capoeira music. I'm a very big proponent that capoeira music is the audio sound of axé in capoeira, what we call, the energy, the life, the passion of capoeira, axé. This is one thing that I really have a passion for and I really want to work with people on doing as I travel Asia. I really feel blessed and lucky that my academia is doing well. I've survived the pandemic and I'm stronger than ever. I've got amazing kids. Oh my God, I love my kids so much. I've got some amazing adults and everyone is very supportive, and we're doing some stuff here to help raise funds also. Now, what would I do? I'm planning to go 2 days or 3 days to each location, possibly 4, depending on how much funds we can raise, right? Because it is expensive, right, to travel. But not only that, I live from capoeira, I work from capoeira, so I need to do what I can to not lose money on this, but still follow my passion as an artist and educator. So in 2 days, I'd like to do a set of workshops that would be best for the people there. For example, the main person I contact and the teachers get together and organize, they can decide what would be best. One workshop is flow and function. How does your body move and swing and match to the music? Where's the one in capoeira? What's going on, and how does that all come together to make the capoeira swing? Although we have different gingas, there are basic understandings of timing, distance, and I want to be able to share that with people with easy drills. Number 2, intro to basic samba reggae. Guys, if you know me, you know samba reggae is like the heart and soul of the music I love. I can't get enough of it. I'm still Olodum, Chimbalada, Olha Chimbalada Soya. I love Olodum. Olodum, I go crazy for it. So what's important as an educator is to understand how this plays a role in the development of Afro-Brazilian culture, right? Because capoeira comes from Afro-Brazilian culture. So how do these basic manifestations, and also a lot of the capoeira groups I visit do capoeira performances. By the time I leave, they'll be able to play 3 basic samba reggae variations and groove, like a mini jam, that they can use and train upon to build for their capoeira team and for their performances. Number 3, capoeira primitiva, primitive capoeira. I feel today that a lot of the capoeira has just gotten amazing. The acrobatics are wow. But there are basic things we call fundamentos, or the fundamentals of capoeira, that I believe I've learned over the years and I would like to share. Not just about the hierarchy of capoeira in a positive way. Everything I want to do is about the positive way of capoeira, but you have to be able to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of capoeira so that you can see how you want to take yourself forward. And I'll be using a lot of personal experiences and things I've researched to be able to do that. Remember, I wrote The Path of Capoeira and Capoeira Fire, both available on Amazon. So if you're interested in my books, please take a look over there. Malícia, mandinga, y malandragem. These words are constantly being thrown around in capoeira around the world. And a lot of times I feel people, it's like when we say the word culture, everybody goes, oh, I get it. But as a person who's been studying it for 35 years, or a person who's trained as a professional cultural anthropologist, I see things a little bit more in a different light. And I like to share with that and how this affects the roda and how it affects your life and your position in the capoeira world. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth workshop that I'm thinking would be Intro to Afro-Brazilian Rhythms, 3 basic Brazilian rhythms that I feel over 35 years have been the main base for what I do, for what I've seen around the world, for Samba reggae, for sure. A lot of the stuff that I see will be these 3 basic rhythms, and I'll make sure that people can understand how I do them in an organized way so they can build upon that and have a better understanding and appreciation of Afro-Brazilian music and improve and how that relates to their capoeira music, okay? Finally, Agua and bananeras, right? So when I see on the internet, I see a lot of one-hit wonders, okay? A lot of sequences, but when I have people visit or when I travel, people can't do just simple variations. And a lot of the times, I think it's because they'll copy a move without understanding the body mechanics of simple, I would say about 16 to 18 basic au and bananera, or we call capoeira cartwheels and handstand variations, okay? So I want to be able to do that. And a lot of this also depends on where I am. Maybe the people or the groups, when I go, will ask, hey, can you do something different? Maybe, basic capoeira techniques, or I don't know, whatever. Entradas, takedowns or whatever. But I'm open. This is just something that I've planned out, okay? Fortunately, in all these places, I already have very excellent networks and I'm ready to go. All I need is to be able to start organizing if I can raise enough money to do all this, right? So the funding from Indiegogo will go to me traveling and hotels. On top of this, I'll charge a relevant fee to each place I'm at. For example, I live in Tokyo, Japan. It's like living in New York. I mean, the prices of everything are really high. I can't charge what I would charge for a workshop here for these like 2 days workshops in Thailand or in Taipei for what I charge in Tokyo or New York. It's just completely different. But it doesn't mean I don't feel that people shouldn't have access to it, right? As I'm traveling, I'll also take a lot of videos, and hopefully this will also lead to a next book. We'll see. Okay. What I'd like to do, if possible, people are watching this, and I know it's hard to motivate it. People have a million different things to do. People have, different ideas of where to invest their time, their resources. So I'm doing this shout out to everybody outside of Japan. I put in the comments, outside of Japan, if you look, you can go to the Indiegogo page, and I'll be posting all weekend Indiegogo link and some fun material that I put together just to motivate you guys. I'm looking to get $4,880 so that I can pay for the travel, the trains, the airplane fees, and the hotels. That's what I'm trying to get, those 3 things. Why? Because if I don't, I gotta bring it out of my pocket. And honestly, guys, after the pandemic, it's really difficult. But I'm hoping that enough people over the years have seen what I do and know that I work hard and that I want to do this with passion and with good intent. So if you'd like to donate to my Indiegogo, there's something called perks. And I want to say, for example, there's this shirt. This is going to be, you can see it back. I hope you can see it well. This shirt, put it so you guys can see it better. This shirt I'll print out, and I'm doing it myself through my Boa Fashion brand. And if you're in the United States, I'll be going to the United States by the end of summer one more time. I have to take care of some family stuff. But I could bring the shirts and ship them from the United States, which makes it a lot easier than here. Who knows? If we reach my goal, I might be able to expand and do a couple of workshops in the United States. I've got some great friends who teach capoeira, and I'd love to visit. So if you're in the California area or the East Coast, thank you. It's not super original, but I love it, and it's just, Samba. We also have the other one, and I'll post a picture of the Asia tour, and it's designed by Contra Mestre Dançarina. If you don't know her, check out Contra Mestra Dançarina on Instagram. She's an incredible woman who does incredible capoeira teaching in Seoul, South Korea. Yes, it's under Capoeira Zoador. She's one of us, but she's fantastic, and I hope that you guys check her stuff out. She draws incredibly well. She drew it up, and then I fixed it up with some text and some extra stuff, and I'll post that shirt this weekend too, so you guys can see. If you want the shirt, go to Indiegogo. It's a $50 donation to my campaign. Put your address, contact me. Like, I only have 100 of these, and I don't think there's even 100. There's like 98 left, but I haven't really started the campaign. There's about 100 of these too. So if you want one, let me know ASAP, because once they run out, they ran out. Also, if you go to Indiegogo, you can just donate whatever you want, even if you don't want anything in return. For example, you can donate $1. Right now, I'm looking at my campaign, and it's in Japanese yen, which is weird, but it says we're 4% of our goal. If this weekend people went out, there's a perk that's just a thank you, and I give you a shout out on social media. That's a $5 shout out. You donate $5 to my campaign. And then there are other ones, for example, a $20 that'll put your name and a thank you on all the media that I put out on social network. On social media, for example, the videos, the audio tracks, everything I do from connected to this project will be with your name on it. You could choose not to and just put the $20 if you want. And then there's other perks like the t-shirt. You could choose this one or the Capoeira Asian Tour one, and I'll get that ready for you. And when I fly to the States, I could send it in the States or possibly come up to your city. Who knows? Anything's possible. If you're in Asia, in any of those places, and you want to do that, I'll bring the shirt when I come to the event to do it there. For sure, I will be coming, and because I believe we can do this. So this weekend, if you'd like to donate to my Indiegogo program, please do. If you know me, you know how hard I work. We're about, I would say, we're 4% in. So yeah, we still need about $4,000, I guess. I guess it's easier to see if you're in English. I can't see perfectly, so I don't have anything else I can check. So give me a second. Never mind, I'm not even logged in on my iPad, so check out the thing. And if you're interested, if you have any questions, let me know. Now, here's one of the good things that I'm doing to try to do this, but like I said, I'm also trying to present myself, my artistic and education. On June 10th, if you're here in Japan, you can get involved by supporting us on this site, because that's the bare minimum of what I have to make on Indiegogo. But if we can go, over, there's so much more I'd like to do. If you're in Japan, you can order a shirt directly from me and I can ship it. The reason I'm not shipping outside of Japan, because for some strange reason over the last year, the prices of shipping a t-shirt has gone crazy in Japan. I don't know why. My wife checked it out and it's just insane. So it's not cost effective for the project to do it from here. If you want to order 2 t-shirts, by all means, help me get to that goal faster. If we sold, let me see here, 162 t-shirts, we're done. So check that out. And I've got the other one too. And I guess that's about it. I got to get back to the grind here working, and I want to do a little bit of music before I leave. I really like folkloric music, puxada de rede, and I'd like to play a little bit for you before I finish this this live, right? So if you have any questions on what I'm doing, and I'm planning a lot more. Guys, if you go to my boa-fashion.com, I'll also put this up all weekend. You can order the t-shirt from there if you're in Japan, and we can ship it to you even sooner. You can choose the color, you can choose the design, which one you want, and it really helps me out to do what I do. If you'd like tickets for the June 10th, I'll be doing I rented a mini theater I'm producing with some friends. We're doing a Brazilian ballet folclórico brasileiro, and it'll cover Afro-Brazilian heritage, popular samba, and of course capoeira. One of the cool things is that Paulo do bass, a really good friend and student of mine, will be arranging a lot of my own original capoeira music into the show. So I'm really excited. Mestre and I will put on some amazing performances. Other people will be coming out so that we can do it. I've got Vivi, Samba. You can get tickets on Boa Fashion.com. We got 88 tickets, VIP, front row, also available. If you're in Japan, you can buy the VIP tickets on Indiegogo, and you can check all that out. The live's been going kind of long, so I want to get back to what I do, right, which is making music. Little drum. Now, let's get back to the Q&A part of the show, of the live. So if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing this year, or any questions about capoeira, thank you, Jojo. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about capoeira or what I'm doing, or rhythms, instruments, music, I'm more than happy to answer. If not, I'm just gonna play a couple of songs and then guys, if there's no questions, I'm going to take a break, get ready for my kids' classes, my babies' classes, and today we also have adults' classes, so I'll be teaching 3 classes today. Guys, thank you so much for joining. As always, like I said, if you know me, you know what I do. If you want to donate $1, $5, $20, whatever you'd like, there's some great perks on there. Take a look. Lots of love, lots of passion, and lots of capoeira. Ashe. Mestre Sucuri, Tokyo, Japan.